Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is well. In all honesty, I didn't think you guys would be seeing from me or hearing from me again. I was extremely close to actually leaving the YouTube scene, not really for anything serious, more just like personal reasons. Obviously, 3 of them I'll go over today. I just want to start by thanking everyone that's still subscribed, still watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting on them, supporting, dropping me messages, whether it's for advice or just appreciation. The main reason as to why I'd actually come back was just essentially from seeing the initial support that I'd gotten, not only just from friends and people who follow me on social media, but actually globally as well. I think I'd had people reach out to me from covering, I guess, the entire world, almost every single continent, sort of just showing support and appreciation for the videos that I'd put out there. And so this is just an update to say that I am coming back. If you want to listen to the 3 reasons as to why I'd sort of almost left YouTube, feel free. If not, I'm coming back. The videos will be a lot better. I plan to do a few challenge videos, a few different types of videos to be fair, live streaming, etc. Doing like live stock analysis and stuff like that. So that'll be really interesting. And if you guys have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. So going on to the first reason as to, I guess this is probably the most important reason as to why I considered not coming back to YouTube. So when I had the 2 of my own offices, my work ethic was considerably high. It was almost like I would wake up in the morning, sort of get ready and just go to my office and not really come back until everything was done. And in fact, being an entrepreneur in the position that I'm in, multiple businesses, trading, investing, you can never really be done. And sort of having YouTube and deciding to create content as well. And I don't know if you guys look back to, I think it's my 2nd video, but it was actually the first video that I'd ever recorded. I kind of just like record randomly and just release whenever I want to. But in that video, when I'd made the live sort of £20,000 investment, just after showing the live bank transfer, I'd then shown the time, and it was actually, I think, like 11 p.m. And I'd sort of said I was tired, I'm going to go back home. As soon as I'd finished recording, it was because it was my first video, there was like a level of excitement watching it back, editing it, etc. I didn't go home straight after. I'd sort of, I think, stayed up just a few more hours and just started getting some work done just for the next day. So I was like, okay, cool. If I get XYZ done, then I can chill and I can sort of start editing the next day when I'm sort of like, when I've woken up, I'm sort of more fresh, more refreshed, like mind is reset and everything. So it was mainly work ethic. It was a very unhealthy work ethic. I wouldn't advise anyone to do it. Again, I didn't have to. It was more just I wanted to. It was more just like self-reflection, and then sort of releasing from there. And there was actually an article that was featured in. I was featured in the Daily Express, and in that article, I'll link it down below. And I did kind of mention about how, sort of talking about it from a more perspective of, okay, cool, fair enough, I'd made a lot of money, I can now invest in private equity, etc., classified as a certified investor or high net worth individual, etc. But even with all of that, it's still kind of like there were a lot of sacrifices that I made along the way. So it's a pretty good read. If you guys want to have a read of it, feel free. And if not, again, you don't have to. My second reason for almost quitting YouTube was more just businesses. So me recently moving out, it was kind of like just a new page, new chapter in my life. I've also been opened up to a whole new bunch of opportunities, not just investing opportunities, but opportunities to actually start up some of my own businesses, gain ownership of existing businesses, and actually get involved in different business practices. Sort of being featured in multiple different articles that I've constantly been in and out of interviews. I've spoken at some of the best performing schools in the UK. So just had different interviews in loads of different places. Obviously, some of them just like podcasts for friends. I'll link a whole bunch of them down below if you guys want to have a look. And it's more just been like trying to experience new things, but at the same time also having like multiple different businesses to kind of handle. And I guess when you make a lot of money from business, you kind of forget about, or not really forget about, but you don't really consider anything else. It's more just businesses are working for me. And obviously in the case that I'm in, it's kind of like any of my businesses could almost turn off at any point in time. And if that was to happen, that's one income stream of mine sort of lost. So it's kind of like, I just want to constantly be working on my businesses, because I know that should then hopefully transpire into something good into the future. And so that's another reason, sort of just coming off of YouTube, it wasn't necessarily taking up a lot of time, but just the fact that it did take up some of my time, it was like, okay, cool, let me stop that and invest that time into my businesses as my businesses can grow, benefit me in the future, etc. I mean, the channel is monetized thanks to you guys, but even still, it's nowhere near the amount that I make in any one of my businesses or business ventures or even investments, as that fact. Okay, so the third and the final reason for me quitting or almost quitting YouTube, obviously I'm back now, but was simply just like life. So in sort of having a little few month break in between sort of moving out from home, essentially what I sort of had was, as soon as I turned 18, I'd got my own apartment in London, moved up to London. Lockdown kind of happened and stuff, and it was kind of just, okay, cool, let me move back in with the family, kind of missing them, being a bit homesick. Moved back with the family, stayed with the family for a few months, got my own offices in Milton Keynes just so I could keep working, have my own space, etc. And then I'd actually moved out again recently to Birmingham. Obviously, in between the transition from Milton Keynes to Birmingham, went on a few holidays, really just went on like loads of, well, I went out to like loads of different restaurants, loads of different places to eat, really just like experienced life and just went out there and done things. Holidays were really good. Recorded a few vlogs. I don't know if I'll release them or not, we'll just wait and see. But yeah, I mean, it's really just like wanting to do more. Again, YouTube didn't really take up much time at all, but it was just the fact that me being in my office, it was like sometimes I'd record multiple videos in a day and that would take up maybe like a few hour slots. And with that, it was kind of like, okay, cool, if I just eradicate YouTube completely, then my time will just be more opened up. But obviously me now, I've got a home setup, but then I've also got like an office setup in Birmingham as well. So my home setup I'll use more just for recording. It's more just a chilled vibe. If I want to record late, I can switch the camera off, go to sleep, or switch the camera off, just chill. But yeah, man, those are essentially the three reasons as to why I'd almost quit YouTube. Again, none of them are really terrible things. It's nothing to do with like mental health. That's all been intact and everything. But it's more just life, essentially, is all I could really say. But again, with that said, that's the video done. If you guys sort of have any questions or want any specific types of videos, leave it in the comments below, or even just drop me a message. You guys don't have to comment. Drop me a message on Snapchat, where I'm most active, Instagram, Twitter. Again, all will be linked down below. And again, thank you guys. Stay subscribed, like, and I hope you guys enjoy the future videos.